So you're thinking about drip irrigation. It's a smart move. You're going to love it and your plants are going to love it. But you're worried about how much work it's going to take to set all this up. Don't worry, we're going to show you just how easy it is to set all this up and have your garden watering itself in no time. It all starts here at the faucet. What you have going on here is first a filter to make sure nothing's going to clog your system. The next is a pressure regulator, which is going to bring the water pressure down to a level that your drip system can use. Next is a timer, which is going to come in valuable because you're going to forget that you have your drip irrigation system on. And all of this connects to your drip system with a female hose beginning. This may seem complicated, but if you can connect a hose, you can attach all of this stuff because it all just screws right onto one another. The main irrigation line bringing water around your garden is 1/2-inch tubing. Attaching your 1/2-inch main line to these couplings couldn't be easier. Dip the end of your 1/2-inch main line into some hot water. This softens up the plastic. When the plastic is nice and soft, you just slip it over the end of the fitting and then tighten the fitting around it. Now, to attach it to the hose apparatus, just screw it right on. Laying out your drip system is as easy as digging a little trench with a trowel, running your hose down in it, and holding it down with some hold downs. Now, adapting your drip system to where it needs to go is easy. You can either use elbows to go around corners, or you can use T's to split off other lines. They both attach the same way, which is extremely easy. I have my hose laid out and I know where I want my T to go to branch off down into a bed. So the first thing I do is make a cut in the hose. You can use your hand pruners, you can use a pair of scissors, you can use a utility knife to cut this tubing. It cuts very easily. The fitting's attached just like the other ones. Dip it in hot water if you need to. Slip the main line onto the fitting and screw the fitting on. Now we'll attach the other side. Then I attach a new piece of tubing off in the new direction I want to go in. And there it is. Now it's time to add your emitters. And like everything else with this system, it couldn't be easier. You start with a hole punch, which you can buy where you buy all of your drip irrigation supplies. You find the place on your main line where you want to add the emitter. You just punch a hole and pop in the emitter. Now, if you make a mistake, like I did here with my first attempt, where I just wasn't too happy with where this hole was placed, make sure you buy something called a goof plug, which plugs up all your goofs. Just simply pop it into the hole that you don't want to be there, and you're good to go. Now you'll be providing water to the plant you want, not to the weeds you don't. To make your drip system even more flexible is tubing that has emitters already built into it. They come with the emitters spaced either every 6 inches or every 12 inches. And this is great for weaving in and around existing plantings. You attach the same way you attach all your other emitters. You start off with a hole in the mainline tubing. Instead of putting in an emitter, you put in a 1/4-inch barbed connector. You put the end of the 1/4-inch tubing over that connector. As you weave this around your plantings, use hold downs to keep it in place. If you have a plant that likes a little bit more water, you can wrap it around twice to make sure it gets more water than others. And if you have a plant that doesn't need as much water, you can keep it kind of far away. And stop the end with a goof plug. There's nothing more tedious to water than your container gardens, and your drip irrigation system can help with that too. What I've done here is taken 1/4-inch tubing that doesn't have emitters in it, attach it to my main line, and I'm going to run it up through the bottom drainage hole in this container. After running the 1/4-inch tubing up the bottom, I filled it with soil. I then attached the 1/4-inch tubing to some of the 1/4-inch tubing that has emitters in it. And I run that around the rim of the container, about 1 inch in from the sides, and hold that down with some hold downs. Now the plants in your container garden will be watered at the same time all your other plants will be. Now when it comes to capping the end of your system, there are 2 ways to do it. There are fittings that attach the same way that all our other fittings attach, and that unscrews to allow you to drain it at the end of the season. Or there's something even easier, a figure 8 ending. The figure 8 ending goes on quite simply. You slip one end over the end, you bend the hose, and slip it over the other end, and you're all set. And at the end of the season, you can just slip it right off and drain it. The only other care your system's going to need is to bring in the filter and the timer over winter. Other than that, everything should be all set. It was as easy as I told you.